You're good.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Holding Court with the Empress West Hollywood. My name's Enoch Miller, your Empress of WeHo. We're so excited to have you with us today. We want to do a special thank you to our amazing producers, GayLifeLA.com, as well as Kings Road Apartment Homes for the amazing space you see here today. And also my very special guest, Miss Susan SurfTone. Hi! We're so excited to have you. You have done, oh my God, it all. And just an amazing life from music, songwriting, working at the FBI, working in the New York Police Department, and just kind of really now your aspect of doing community activism for the LGBTQ plus community, everything like that. So I'd like to kind of just dive right into it and start like kind of right in the beginning. Little Susan, back in Hudson, New York. What was it like for you growing up in Hudson? Because we were just talking a little bit about kind of how New York's changed so drastically over the years. Kind of what was it like back in the day for you growing up there?
Well, Hudson is a small town upstate. It's right at the Hudson River. It's about 2.5, 3 hours, depending on how you drive, from New York City. And it was a very small town.
Yeah.
And I think I realized about at the age of 3 that I was gay.
Okay.
And it was kind of like about the age of 4 I realized I got to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it was a bit stifling in many ways. There was always the feeling, even from a very young age, that I wouldn't be staying after high school. So, you know, just get through it and you'll get out.
Yeah, and I mean, it's especially for the LGBT community. I mean, it just in that time period, I mean, it was very hard for people to be authentic to themselves, to really, embrace their individuality and owning their sexuality as well. Growing up for you, what do you feel was the hardest part, having to conceal everything, or was just the hardest part trying to find some sense of identity through it all?
It was fighting for identity.
Okay.
I was an only child, so all eyes were on me. And I think that, you know, every time I would, my mother always complained because she would buy me dolls and girls' toys, but I always wanted to play with the boys' toys. So those were the ones that if they bought them, I would play with them.
Gotcha.
And my father was a professional baseball player. He had played minor league for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Wow. And
he was a mailman at the time in Hudson, but he taught me how to play baseball and football and everything. So I grew up in a neighborhood of boys.
Okay.
So I could play baseball and football and
just
everything with the boys.
Gotcha.
Until we got a little older and the boys went in. At that time, girls couldn't play in Little League. And I remember I was really mad because I could play better than most of those guys that were going to Little League.
I could school them.
I could throw a knuckleball, man. And I was really mad, but it was nothing you could do.
Right.
Nothing you do. So it was kind of, I gravitated towards the guitar when I was 9.
Okay.
And my mother was cool with that. And she had taken me, she took me to see Jailhouse Rock when I was 3 years old.
Would you say in a few interviews that she regretted it
So
very
she
much?
did. Oh God, I would hear, I never should have taken it with that movie.
But it's Elvis, it's the king. I mean, how could you not?
She was an Elvis fan.
Wow.
And then funny thing was when the Beatles came over, of course I loved Elvis and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and she would always fight with me about the merits of the Rolling Stones over the Beatles because she loved Mick Jagger.
Oh, okay.
And as I got older, I would always hear from my mother as she got older, I just love that Mick Jagger. And it was like, I just don't want to tell her this. Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. You want to know about Mick Jagger?
Yeah. Just so you know, those hips were made for boys.
Some of them were.
Just saying.
Here's pictures of Mick and Bowie.
Yeah. Which is, that's such a time of classic rock. Of just, especially Elvis. I mean, these individuals that really set the tone for what garage music used to be, for what surf music used to be, and really just this genre of, I almost like for what I would refer to it here today is like this swagger of just like sex and like just expression, and it just really had this fun vibe with it too, and really just drew everyone in. It just made you just want to dance and be free.
Yeah, it was happy music, number one. And it was exciting. I mean, yes, everything was different. I mean, you had Elvis, he was the God. You know, he was the God, of course.
Right.
You know, who could be Elvis Presley? And then the Beatles came along, and it was like, wait a minute, we can do this. wait a minute now. You know, I like George because he played the guitar, and he didn't talk much, and he didn't sing much because I didn't sing.
Okay.
And I wanted to be a lead guitar player, and I was pretty good at it. I was good, and I was lucky I had a teacher that, when he realized I could do it, he was willing to teach a little girl how to actually play lead guitar. So
oh wow.
at that time, George was my favorite.
Okay.
You know, and then like the Stones came over, and they were totally different, and then you had all this. Just I think about it today. It's like, my God, look at all the influences that were being thrown at us. And you know, Aretha Franklin just died, but I remember when I was in 7th grade, that woman taught me how to spell respect.
Yeah.
Because I remember it being on the spelling test going, R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Oh, but it's so, and it's, I mean, all these classics that just, they really, they're the foundation for so much music that we have today, and really just what we look back to is just the setting stone for all this stuff, and I love that you bring up George Harrison, because that's just an amazing artist as well. When you think to, I'm gonna just touch a little bit, but when you think to like how they impacted you as your artist and your musical aesthetic, kind of what aspects do you look to these kind of icons for you that really kind of helped give you a framework for what you do as an artist?
Well, there was something in Little Susan
that
identified with the male performers.
Gotcha.
So I always wanted to be Elvis. I didn't want to marry him. I wanted to be him. Didn't want to be George, John, Paul, Ringo. I wanted to, I wanted to be those guys. I didn't want to marry.
Right.
And as I got older and looked back at what I did, I was saying that was the outlet for, I think everybody's got some duality in them as far as sexuality goes. That was my male outlet. That's my male outlet.
I can see that.
Because then there was a whole different aspect of me came out.
Right.
And I think it probably prevented me from going crazy.
True.
Yeah, I think it helped. And I think that fact that I was good at playing lead guitar put me in a position where I could compete with the boys. They wouldn't let me in their bands, of course, when I was in high school in the late 60s.
Okay.
Of course, I'd hear, well, you can play better than our lead guitar player, but you can't have a girl in the band. I realize that, don't you? And I had a lot of fun when I was playing in Rochester with the SurfTones. In, must have been 2000, around that time. And this guy that I knew in high school, Bernie, was working with Kodak at the time in Rochester, and he came to a gig, and he came up and said, wow, you're really good, and I said to him, you created the monster. And he just kind of looked at me, and he went, what? And I said, yeah, remember when you wouldn't let me in your band?
I now have my own band.
I learned how to play rhythm and lead at the same time.
Wow.
And he just kind of walked away going,
well, thank you for my amazing music career and the drive that got me going.
You made me mad. You should have done that.
I love it. So you've kind of grown up and this is what you want to do, and you found your passion in this music with the guitar and just kind of the style, kind of surf garage music style. Now you went off to college, to Smith College, and then to Boston University for law.
Right.
What really kind of made you deviate a little bit from music and really kind of pursue a career in law?
Well, there was always, my parents had only gone to high school.
Okay.
So I was the first one to go to college. My mother really should have gone to college. She was very smart.
Wow.
And she had the ambition to see me go to college, which I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It was no question. So, of course, I picked an all-girls school.
All-girls school? I wonder why. I wonder why. Girls.
Smith sent a representative around to some high schools, and I got picked as a group of girls to go see her and talk to her, and it was like, boy, this sounds like a good place. So I went to Smith. I got in, went to Smith, and in my senior year, all lesbian hell broke loose.
Ooh,
whoa.
What's lesbian hell? Okay.
Whoa.
Did the hormones kick in and just everything was unleashed?
Everything was unleashed. Before that, my freshman, sophomore, junior year, it was all kind of, nobody talked about it. Mm-hmm. We were there. But
yes.
Nobody talked about it. And in senior year, there were these girls, we were all in houses. We didn't have sororities.
Oh, okay.
They put us in houses that kind of became little sororities in a way, and there was a house called Washburn. And there was a group of lesbians in Washburn that had it. That just had it.
They were over it all.
They were over it all. I was in Hopkins B. But they had it, and I was friends with a couple of them in Washburn. And it just blew up. All of a sudden, It was just open. And the college couldn't stop it. See, the college was worried about the older donors,
which makes sense.
It made sense.
Yeah.
But it was just time. It was just time. And all of a sudden, it just changed like almost overnight.
Wow.
To be out. Yeah, it was
And
fun.
what was that feeling like for you when you kind of were like, oh my god, I can be myself?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And it's like, so when kind of everything really just came to the surface, and did you know, like, okay, like coming out to your, like, did your mom already know, or did she just have an idea? Like, what was kind of that dynamic then of explaining it to the family and then kind of really getting to let them know the real Susan that was here?
Well, they figured it out the weekend of my graduation, because my girlfriend was a freshman, but she had stayed to like help work on graduation week.
Oh, okay.
So we got figured out, and nobody was happy about it, I'll tell you that.
Oh, wow.
Because I come from a Polish, Italian-American
Oh,
family.
Italian-American, oh yeah.
Nobody was happy,
Woo.
so we were never happy with that. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a lifelong battle. That
I
was
can imagine.
a lifelong battle. And my mother, I did not learn to practice law really in law school. I learned to practice law fighting with my mother.
Right? It's because it's like law is 95% arguing, 5% the law.
All my arguing.
So you've kind of really, you've embraced yourself, you're kind of out there, you've gotten out, you graduated Smith and have gone to do your law degree.
Mm-hmm.
After that, because I mean, it's, again, going to that to go, now you're going from there to Quantico
Mm-hmm.
to become an FBI agent. What really kind of drove you to pursue the FBI? 'Cause that's, I mean, first of all, that's one badass organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
there was that, yeah.
but still, like, I mean, again, was it more of a wanting to find something that really kind of fit your aesthetic as just like that
Yeah.
intrigue, the danger? Like, what was the
Yeah.
appeal to you for that?
I didn't want to work at a law firm.
Okay.
That whole thing just did not appeal to me, the
Mhm.
idea of that. And after law school, I was kind of struggling to figure out what I was going to do. And again, my mother had taken me to Washington, D.C. when I was a kid, and we went through the Hoover stuff and the whole thing, and these agents did a shooting exhibit.
Oh.
And they gave the kids those shells. They used the cartridge shells, so I kept them. And I was thinking, well, that seemed like a good job. That seemed like fun because it was different.
Right.
And I had, in college, I had taken a lot of, the Soviet Union was around then.
Right.
I took a lot of economics, politics, and things that involved the Soviet Union. So I figured I kind of wanted to work, I like the idea of working in intelligence.
Okay.
Really, that seemed like fun to me. So I had the choice of, there was the FBI and the CIA, and they were both hiring at the time that I got out of law school. So I interviewed with both.
Okay.
And the CIA was kind of fun because you went to this address. That was this disguised office, and it was really kind of cool. But
the whole cloak and dagger thing was like
the
for real?
cloak and dagger,
What?
yeah,
Oh, that's so
fun.
cool.
And then the guy talked to was very nice, but I decided that I would rather go to the bureau because I didn't want to go overseas.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
I could do, with the CIA, I would have definitely been going overseas.
Gotcha.
I don't really want to do that. So the bureau, it seemed, I was in Boston at the time, and I was in at the time where they sent you back to the city that you were recruited in. That changes sometime.
Okay.
And I said, okay, if I go in, I know I'm coming back to Boston, which is okay.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal was to get to New York City, because that's where, as you know now from the news, most of the counterintelligence is centered there and in D.C. So I figured that'd be a good way to eventually get to New York City. So that's what I did.
Wow.
I don't know if I went.
Wow, and I mean, so what was the? What can you tell us without killing us? What was your favorite aspect about being an agent and working in intelligence like that? That really kind of, when you got into it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I live for.
Figuring things out.
Okay.
It was like puzzles. It was really, it was interesting where no day was the same.
Right.
I worked in, I did do the Soviet foreign counterintelligence in New York. I also worked some up in Boston. I had to go back to Boston for about a little less than a year. So I worked bank robberies up there, and I worked on the biggest bank burglary in the history of Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of fun. And there was some mob connections in that.
Oh my gosh.
It was fun. It was fun. And
so it was the mystery of it all that you really liked, and just
mystery of it
solving that puzzle.
Yeah, and it was. I liked the danger a little bit. That was fun. That was always fun. No day the same. And do I have my gun? I hope so. And you know, it was just exciting, and you got to figure things out.
Yeah.
I really liked that. I really.
That's awesome. Oh, so let's go a little bit forward to now, 1980, and after John Lennon's murder, and it kind of really gave you a perspective in life as kind of like, okay, taking kind of stock as to what you're doing, and you're going through that. You kind of like wanted to focus more on music. What really kind of brought you back around to that 9-year-old dream of being like an Elvis, like a Beatles, like something like that?
The fact that I realized that I was about 28.
Okay.
And I realized that if I didn't do it now, at that age,
never do it.
I would never do
Gotcha.
it. And it was just this kind of thinking, am I going to be happy when I'm the age I am now? I'm 63 right now. And it's like, am I going to be happy when I look back, when I have more behind me than I do in front of
Right.
me, and you know, decisions have been made and you can't change them.
Right.
And am I going to be happy?
Right.
Am I going to like what I did? And I kind of said, no, not if I stay in this trajectory, because it wasn't fun working in a job where you couldn't be out.
Right. Well, and first of all, it's the male misogyny of it all.
Yeah.
Just this oppression against women and treating women like they were less than men, basically.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a struggle, but the thing was that, I mean, like the things they can today with like the Me Too movement, things would happen that wouldn't even register on you back then,
Right.
because it was just the way it was. And when I think about it now, it's like, hey, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I was sexually harassed.
Yeah.
You know? So then you go, wait a minute.
And it was just almost a part of the culture there, like it was just expected.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything. You know, you really couldn't. And but what was hard at the time being there was that you'd meet other gay agents through very strange ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was this one, my girlfriend at the time,
Okay.
Boston, was getting really annoyed at me because I didn't want to go to the gay clubs. There was a lesbian club called Prelude, which was a really nice place.
Okay.
Really a nice place. And my girlfriend liked to shoot pool. And they had beautiful pool tables.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, I won't go. And I was like, well, I'm afraid to go. So finally it was like, you're going. I said, okay, I'm going. So I was downstairs.
Foot was down.
I had to walk down these stairs. I remember the walk down the stairs going, oh my God, I'm doing this, I'm going to get caught. Walk up to the bar to get a drink. And I look over, there's another female agent sitting there.
Wow.
And we just looked at each other and started laughing, because there we were. And then we started working together. So it was like the gay Cagney and Lacey were going on. Nobody knew it. It was.
Oh my God, I love that. Cagney and Lacey.
So you had all these Hoover men, you know.
Wow.
Because I was in 8 years after Hoover died.
Wow.
Okay, so all these Hoover men are watching, and they had no idea.
Wow.
It was just so cool. It was there they go.
Wow, that's too funny.
Then I answered, and I transferred to New York. I wrote an article in Logo Now Next about this.
Uh-huh.
I had we kept our desks 4 and a cluster of 4 together.
Oh, okay, so just like almost like a square of 4 desks. Okay.
And this was before there were answering machines and before there was anything. There were actual telephones on the desk.
Right.
So the idea was that if you were there and the agent next to you wasn't at his or her desk, you answered their phone.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Would you answer it like as yourself or saying this?
Let's say, Special Agent Yasinski.
Okay.
And you could talk. And take the message.
Got it.
So there was this one guy that sat next to me, and he was very macho. I mean, this guy, if he went to the bank to cash his check, he had a gun on his ankle and a gun on his. We used to laugh
He
about
was
it.
strapped in the whole time.
And there was
guys like
a
that.
single woman in our little cluster who always complained about the fact that she was trying to get him to ask her out, but he never would. So I started to go,
I see where this is going.
okay, all right, okay.
Gaydar's going
Okay,
off.
I'll put that up. So one day afternoon, I'm there, and his phone rings. So I put the phone up, and it's a young man who was telling me to tell this other agent that the shower was broken. So I kind of got the idea.
Yeah.
So I said I took the message, and okay, I will be sure to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited till it was just him and me, and I told him, and I watched the guy turn white.
Oh, yeah.
His face just drained blood. And I just wanted to say to him, don't worry. The right person answered the phone.
Right.
You got really lucky. The
Yeah.
right person answered that phone. He never said a word to me, and I never said a word to him.
Wow. Did he end up finding out later, or like, or did
he knew I knew, but
okay.
about me?
Yeah.
I think he must have had an idea.
Okay.
But we just, you know.
It just like quiet done.
But boy, the right person answered the phone.
Wow. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so scary.
Because I think there were like, well, a lot of the older male agents, I think half of them knew and didn't care. And then the other half would have had you fired, you know, right then and there.
Really?
So you never could feel really comfortable with anybody and telling them, even the ones that you felt would be okay with it.
You really couldn't trust anyone.
If they slipped and said something, you were, because there were some of them that were, I knew they suspected, and I knew they were just waiting to catch me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that's the worst kind of feeling, and it's so, even as much as, the U.S. has progressed in LGBT rights, I still know there's so many states out there that you still can be fired for being openly gay out at a workplace, and it's terrifying to think that you could still be discriminated, even to this day, just for your sexual identity.
Well, now since, I think it's around 1995 that Bill Clinton signed an executive order allowing you to be gay and have a security clearance, because that was the whole thing. You couldn't be gay and have a security clearance because you were deemed a risk. Just the fact that you were gay made you too risky to have a security clearance.
What was that risk classified as?
You could be compromised. So the idea was, well, if you didn't compromise us because we were gay, it'd be okay. Let's just not do this. So finally, Bill Clinton figured it out. And he's a smart man. He figured it out in 1995 that if I just sign this piece of paper and say it's okay to be gay, so you can't be compromised.
Right. One little piece of paper made us all of a sudden not a security risk.
Yeah, it took Bill Clinton.
Wow.
So then it was okay. But now I was looking one time and I saw the Bureau website, and there's a rainbow coalition of gay agents, and it's like, wow, this is great. But then in comes Trump and Sessions. Now you kind of wonder. All right, see, we had the benefit of being cloaked.
Right.
Okay, so they couldn't find us unless they got lucky. But now they're sitting ducks. Yeah. And they can do things. They can transfer you where you don't want to live. They can put you on assignments where you don't want to go. Yeah. So I do worry. I hope that Christopher Ray, the director now, is aware of this and doesn't allow it to happen.
Fingers crossed a lot, because the whole army scare and the military scare with transgenders, brothers and sisters that were fearing for their security and their why are you not letting someone that wants to support their country and fight for their country just because we identify as a transgender male or woman? So it's terrifying to think that other government agencies could have that same fear of not being secure. Exactly.
And I'm just hoping that I think that LGBT. I don't know if there's any transgendered agents. I don't know if there are or not. But you're hoping that we've proved over time, even from my generation, that we can do the job and we can do a good job and we can be trusted and we're just fine, just like anybody else. And I would hope that the culture in the Bureau has changed enough that Sessions and Trump can can't really
all go to hell.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is and I think what most people are trying to do now is change the mentality, and it just really educate on the fact that we're a person first who happens to be gay, lesbian, bi, transgender. That's secondary to who we are as an individual. Yeah. That's not, it doesn't classify us as a certain type of person. It just happens to be who we are. It's like we have brown hair, or we have green eyes.
Exactly.
It's just another facet of our just individuality. Yes. So you're right. I'm really hoping it doesn't affect anything like that, but it is. It's still even in 2018, the fact that we're still having to worry about stuff like that is.
When you got like pens breathing down your neck.
Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. So I would love to talk more now into the amazingness that is the SurfTones, and kind of this really amazing group you've created, and then how that led to kind of your solo acts and everything you've been doing with yourself now. So in '94, you formed the SurfTones, and then within a year, you were already signed by GD Music.
Right, in Germany.
In Germany, and that was in Hamburg, right?
Right.
And so how did that happen? Let's start with how did it happen with the formation of the SurfTones, and then kind of how you guys got that label.
Well, I had been working in forming bands with singers, female singers. And, you know, everything would be fine, and then eventually the singer would leave, and then I'd be left to start all over again.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is getting tiresome. So I'm up in Rochester, and I said, you know, I think I'm just going to do an instrumental band playing the music that I learned to play when I was a kid.
Okay.
My teacher had taught me a lot of venture songs and everything. So I started learning surf songs just at the right time when Dick Dale's Miserlou was in Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
So I was just a little bit behind it, but there was a big resurgence in surf music.
Yeah.
So it caught on in Europe.
Okay.
Really heavy duty. And there were some magazines that, like little specialty magazines about surf music and everything. And there was one called Point Break in Hamburg.
Okay. And
I sent a cassette that I made to the editor, a guy named Sebastian Hartman. And he had a band called the Looney Tunes, which was a surf band, German surf band.
I love that Looney Tunes.
And he listened to it and passed it on to Gerd Dietrich at GD Music, who had worked at East West Records, which was kind of a major over there.
Oh, I've heard of East West before. I know a couple of German artists that have come through on their label.
And he split off and started GD on his own. And he's in Hamburg.
Okay.
He liked it, so he sent me a fax at the time and offered the contract. So of course I took it and couldn't believe, oh my God, Hamburg, Germany. Oh my God, the Beatles.
Right.
Because I remembered when I went to see Backbeat in the movie Backbeat about their days in Hamburg. There was a scene where they were driving down Lucy Freiheit in the van, looking at all the neon and everything for the first time. And I remember thinking to myself, I'll never do that.
Wow.
And then
and she did
all
it!
of a sudden I'm in a van going down, and there I am.
Wow.
You know, signed, and we went, did the first record, and they brought us over to Hamburg to play.
Wow.
So there we were, in the van, going down, with people, you know.
And you guys toured several times over there in just all over Europe. Four times.
Four
Wow.
times, yep. Because we did 3 records for GD.
Right.
Then we did a live one for our tour manager at a little label, so we did a live record for him. And then I did a record for an Italian label called Almo Music.
Okay.
But it was the German label GD that brought us over.
Wow.
And yeah, we went all over every inch of Germany. I don't know how many times that Autobahn back and forth. And it was outside of a city called Erfurt over in the east part. There was these 2 castles. And you'd see them. We always wondered if they fought. You know, we passed them like I think 10 times. The conversation would always be the same. I wonder if they were like the Hatfield and the McCoy.
Oh my God!
How longer they fought? You know?
The Capulets and the Montagues.
Yeah, that's how we entertained ourselves.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that and Jägermeister.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, better drink it cold. With tour life, because a lot of people don't realize how difficult tour life is. Kind of explain to them what a week of gigs was like for you guys touring during that time.
Well, we were in a pretty crappy band with a crazy Belgian tour manager who spoke 7 languages, which was good.
That's amazing.
But it was kind of crazy though. And you would just get up in the morning and go down to breakfast, and our keyboard player had a really big bag. She would throw all like fruit and cheese and everything in there. And then you get in the van and you just drive.
Okay.
Drive and drive and drive and drive to the next gig. Get there, get out of the van, go to the sound check. They would feed you. In Germany, they fed you.
Oh, that's good.
That was one nice thing. It was great. They'd feed you, give you beer, you had whatever you wanted. So we would do the sound check, go to wherever we were staying. Sometime it was a hotel.
Okay.
Sometime it was like in an apartment of the local promoter or something. So you never knew what you were going to get.
Oh wow.
That was always exciting.
Where are we sleeping tonight?
Yeah, what are we going to do here? Yeah. So you'd end up, and then you'd go play the show, which we were lucky we had good crowds and they liked it. And then you do the same thing again the next day. You just keep doing the same thing, the same thing, and you're locked in the van with the same. There were 4 of us and the crazy tour manager. So you're locked in the van with the same people, and you're starting to go a little nuts.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you do get on each other's nerves.
And then, so for you, what's the difference between, like, do you prefer, like, singing on stage to singing in a recording studio, or do you like them separately in different regards?
I would say I like the recording better
Okay.
until I do the live thing.
All
And
right.
then it's fun.
And then
After it's over, then it's fun.
It was stressed until I got done,
I could
and
go,
it's good.
Oh, that went well. That was good. That was good. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I've got a live one coming up. This is an interesting thing because I'm a member of the Recording Academy.
Okay.
And I'm playing an acoustic show.
Oh, that's right.
At
The
Kulak's Woodshed.
Hanging with My Sisters.
Yes, on
right.
October 11th. And it's me and an acoustic guitar and I'm singing. So I'm totally out of my comfort zone. Completely in left field, beyond left field, past the back fence, out in the parking lot in my comfort zone.
Wow.
So I'm just going to do it.
This is exciting though. So it's called, I mean, you can go look on Susan's Facebook page. It's on there. It's called Hanging with My Sisters, an evening of acoustic music. It's going to be October 11th, which is a Thursday, at Kulak's Woodshed. Yeah, which is over on Laurel Canyon, so you can't miss it from 8 to 10 p.m. Go check it out. I mean, it's first of all acoustic music. I mean, it's just you, that guitar, and your pipes, and I mean, it's just so authentic.
Yeah.
And I love when you get to go to an acoustic show because it really just, you just washed over with just this harmony and this sound, and it feels so.
Yep,
I mean, just natural. That's what I'm trying to go for.
There's four of us playing. We're all a little different.
Okay.
There's myself, Kristen Speller. She's a little more hard rock. I'm a little more the retro rock. Kimberly Hayes. She's got a little bit of a softer sound. And then there's Vito. We have a guy. He's one of the sisters.
I love it.
He's a good acoustic singer and songwriter and plays a great guitar. And we have Joanne Lazario, who's a flautist.
Oh, wow.
Who will be joining me. We are going to record a song, an original that we've never played before, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's exciting. So guys, go check it out October 11th from 8 to 10 p.m. at Kulak's Woodshed. So go check that out in North Hollywood. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And it's free.
And it's free.
It's free.
Free, bitches. Go get it. So jumping back to kind of the next kind of phase of your life and what you're doing after stuff with the SurfTones there. You came back in '96, moved to Albany, and then you did a little stint there of like getting like the band back together, and then in 2000 you moved to Portland.
Right.
And you formed Acme Brothers Records to really keep the hold of your music and make sure no one could really change that. Was it really just to kind of just protect everything yourself, or what was really the reasoning behind you forming Acme Brothers?
Well, I'd learned how to do it.
Okay.
And it was, the idea of keeping it myself.
Gotcha.
And having a law degree and having practiced law, it wasn't hard to understand copyright law. It wasn't hard to understand how to do it.
Right.
So it just made sense. And at that time the industry was starting to become more do-it-yourself.
Okay.
DIY thing where you could get
sense.
CDs made. And you could, CD Baby had started, so there's distribution.
Right.
And a lot of the need to have a label was kind of ebbing away.
Gotcha.
So.
And it was really just kind of like, I mean, it's basically almost an entrepreneurship for musicians of becoming your own self-sustaining label plus artist plus everything else. Yeah, exactly. I've seen so many people create their own labels and end up like helping other people start out, and then they create their own labels from that as well. So that's just really amazing. What do you feel was one of the, maybe not the hardest, but one of the challenges you faced in the initial process that really right before you kind of like got to where you were in a decent rhythm of it all? What do you feel was kind of one of the struggles you had in the very beginning to really kind of thing you didn't really know but you learned that kind of helped afterwards?
Probably a little bit of the marketing aspect.
Okay.
Of it. I figured pretty early on that the way to actually do proper marketing is to hire a good publicist. That is the hardest thing to do yourself.
It is very true.
Is the marketing.
Yeah, it's the aspect of you're trying to promote yourself, but you want to make sure it sounds like you're not just being egotistical in every regard.
Being a good publicist is an art all to itself, and I have a good one. Mona's great.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's phenomenal.
And we work well together, and a publicist that's what they do.
Right.
Is they help you promote yourself.
Right.
And they know how to do it, and they know how to do things you as a musician just aren't going to know how to do.
Right. It's really selling a story, your story to other people and to gigs, to other locations, to other promoters and stuff like that.
It's
so
the realm that they work in.
Exactly.
They work with. They know who the editors are. They know who people are. They know where you're going to be a good fit and where you're going to not be a good fit. So, as a musician, you can knock yourself out knocking on the wrong doors, and you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's totally true. So, and then in 2011, Acme Brothers released your first CD, Shore, as Susan SurfTone, and this is kind of where it's just you. What was that whole process like, coming with your first CD and getting that all put together? Was it very difficult, or did you kind of, I mean, from all your past experience, did you kind of find it fairly easy to put together?
I had the guitar playing was no problem.
Gotcha.
Okay, and I could play bass a bit. And it was like, I really need to get the feel for bass and understand how a bass guitar works in the context of other instruments. So I got a bass, I got a McCartney bass, and the Hofner. And of the Beatles, there's a book out with every Beatles song in it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, that's great. I mean,
and it just has all the chords and everything?
It's transcription of everything.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I got that, and I sat down with my label partner, Avery Gray, and we had a little home recording studio, which is totally, probably shouldn't work, but it does. And I just started like playing along with the Beatles material, with the bass, just to learn it. I mean, Paul McCartney is my bass teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
and that's how I learned.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then we started to do the songs, and we were saying, these sound starting to sound pretty good.
Yeah.
These don't sound too bad. So I started putting guitar parts down.
Wow.
So we released the instrumental Beatles record that actually people bought.
Wow.
And it was kind of fun karaoke. I figured people put it in their car, roll the windows up, and sing along.
Sing along, it's great.
And then I did that with started moving. I did the Rolling Stones, and I started playing blues. I had a lot of people tell me they could hear blues in my lead lines.
I can see that, yeah.
So I said, I'm going to listen to some blues. But you know what, I'm trying to do Robert Johnson songs, and they're, holy God.
Oh, that's Robert Johnson. That's a whole other beast.
So I did them.
Wow.
And then I just kept recording till I got to the point where I felt really confident doing it. And I worked with producer Steve Kravac, who happens to be a great drummer. So he played the drums.
Amazing.
So he played the drums on the first, on Shore, Too Far, and then Reckoning and Blue Light at Midnight.
So he did. So he did all
a lot of them.
Oh, wow.
Did a lot of them.
All the big ones.
Till I switched over to the singing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal. And let's talk about the next CD, Too Far, that came out in 2013, and it was kind of what I really liked about it is Shauna. You have on there on the cover, who's an amazing transgender woman and stunning. You said she's a go-go dancer as well.
She was our go-go dancer.
Yeah, and she's just, I mean, first of all, just that striking image of the two of you up on front. And how did you and Shauna meet initially, like to where you guys kind of built this relationship?
She was doing some go-go dancing with another band in Portland.
Okay.
And I really wanted to have I liked her dancing, and I really wanted to have the go-go dancer in there, because don't look at me, look at her.
Right.
Type of thing. And
pay attention over here.
and I talked to her, and we got to know each other, and she danced a few times with the band, and I did not know.
Oh, yeah.
And
wow.
Eventually she told me it didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
And I was really proud of the band, because it didn't make a difference to the guys in the band, who were all straight.
Yeah.
They didn't care at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, the bass player, Dan Ferguson, and I would like keep an eye on the crowd, and like if anybody's going to give her trouble, Dan is a big guy.
Oh, yeah.
Dan was going to jump in and do the end of it, you know.
That's
so
amazing.
He was keeping an eye on it, and I was too. And she never got blocked.
Wow. That's amazing.
She did a great job, and everyone would say, "Oh, it's so much fun watching that lovely girl have a good time." We think it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
And it's even what's so amazing too is the cover art for Too Far as well. You have Shauna on one side and you kind of on the other, and I know I think there was someone you were interviewed by, and they just say how they just love the aspect of like you in the Beatles suit, Shauna just looking just stunning. I mean, so sexy and stunning. And it really kind of just took this whole atypical paradigm to what the stereotype was of that genre, where it was guy and girl instead of, no, it's girl and transgender woman.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of, it was bending the gender norms here, which was really what I really loved about just I mean, the visualization of it all, but also it's just pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, well, we wanted to take it. I always liked the Roxy music covers, and I had that kind of in mind. And
Gotcha.
the photographer Robbie McLaren is a terrific photographer. He's world renowned. He's done books. He's done gallery shows. He teaches. He's shot for every magazine for Vogue, and he does a lot of incredible work of all sorts.
Backdrop with the two of you. I mean, it's the mountains and the was it a lake?
Yeah, Robbie goes out and scouts his location.
Stunning.
He found the perfect location, and that's what we wanted, the Roxy music type of feel, and that's why it's called Too Far, because I figured if my surf fans really knew what was going on, they'd say I took it too far.
Which
so
it's clever. I like that, but I mean, it's just it's this whole funny thing of like, where boys play guitar and girls go dance. However, we're switching it up here, and I really, and again, it's taking something that is so not atypical, but it's so like normally around. It's so atypical for someone to see, but really showing it. Hey, anyone can do anything they want to. There are no boy-girl roles. It is whatever you want to make it for yourself.
We were both comfortable doing what we were doing. We were in our comfortable roles.
Exactly, and that's what's so amazing about it.
And the old surf fans never figured it out.
Yeah.
And their heads would have exploded if it really did. But yeah, so.
Which is still so funny because even in like 2011, it still would have been a thing, and it's just, I mean, it's just that culture.
Yeah.
I think it's just that mentality from just being so set in the
occasionally
ways.
I'd hear from a fan, she's really hot. And yes, she is.
Yes, she is. Damn better believe it. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then after that we have 2014, you did your first EP called Wrecking Me, which was followed almost immediately after by Blue Light at Midnight.
Yeah.
What made you switch from doing a full CD collection to just doing a couple EPs?
Because people don't buy full CDs anymore.
True.
They buy singles now.
Right.
And to do the EPs, it was easier, cheaper.
Right.
And that was, I would say, Reckoning and Blue Light at Midnight put together kind of a CD.
Okay.
And by that time, I had joined the Recording Academy.
Okay.
I was entering things in for the Grammys.
Yes.
Just for the hell of it, really, just for the kicks. You know?
Maybe we'll see something come up down the road. You never know.
And you could do it with an EP. You
Right.
didn't need to do a full-length CD. So I figured it just made sense.
Do you see music shifting to being more like this, and people are kind of turning away from doing full albums and now doing just straight up EPs across the board?
Oh yeah, it's going to streaming, and it's going to not even doing the physical CDs. Like I just did a new one. It's called Dicey After Dark. It'll be out in January 2019. Where like you get them pressed, you actually get some made, but there are some fans that want to buy the CD.
Right.
Not that many. It falls off, but some reviewers, radio stations still want that hard copy.
Right.
So you want to have it, and I like to see it. For myself, I like.
Well, and also you get to sign it. It gives
I have it.
Right.
But most people do buy the digital music and Spotify and all these things. So you know,
all of it out
there you go. So you know, you just look at the economics of it and say, I can do what I want to by doing an EP, and I'd rather. It's better to do 6 or 7 songs that are really good than like they used to do. Fill it up with
for whatever. Right. Do you feel it really helps you hone in and really make that song shine instead of having to worry about 12 other songs?
Yeah.
Okay. So it really just kind of helps you focus in on that one song and make it the best song ever. Do you see the music industry really switching to like drastically to more of a digital era with that, or do you feel like they are still trying to hold on to the aspect of physically putting out albums and putting out CDs or putting out stuff like that?
I think it's moving more towards digital, but I really do think that young people really ought to learn the joy of carrying LPs up to their dorm room.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that's one thing that's like, you've never known looking at all those boxes and going, I gotta go up to 3 flights of stairs with these things.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
that's totally a thing of the past.
That's so true.
Yeah.
It's all on this
Yeah.
little phone or
There
all
you go.
online.
See the things you miss. Yeah.
There's so much of that I missed. So much. And really, what do you think, besides it going more from albums to singles, what do you think has been kind of one of the bigger drastic shifts in the music industry probably in the last like 5-10 years?
The DIY movement.
The
Like,
DIY,
everybody-
okay.
Yeah, it used to be you couldn't get past the gatekeepers.
Oh,
Those were the major label gatekeepers.
true.
And then indies came along in the 80s, and they still had the gatekeepers.
Okay.
Okay, and then when you could just do it all yourself, it blew the doors off having gatekeepers.
Wow.
Which is good in a way. It's good because now you're free. Everybody's free to do their music, which is nice.
Yes.
But then now there's just so much of it. That's why you need that publicist, because
Yeah.
it's hard to get noticed.
So really, it's the great part about it is you being able to have full total control of your art and your music, but you still need some other people to help kind of really get your name out there.
Yeah, because
and
there's just so much of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta get heard, you gotta get found.
Right.
Yeah.
wow, and I mean it's so true. You see so many. I do see so many people nowadays going to where they figure it out all their own, or they kind of play with what works, what doesn't work for them, and
Yeah.
they kind of let it just kind of go from there. But you're right, it's finding someone that can really get your name out there. And I mean, half the battle is either you boots on the ground, knocking on
Yeah.
doors too, or saying, hey, here's the right door to go knock to, and go and do that.
If you did all the social media that there is out there to do by yourself, you never do anything else. I
Wow.
mean, that's how much of it there is. If you're gonna keep up with all of it, it's a full-time job
Wow.
plus.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone wants to go check out any amazing stuff that Susan's gonna be doing here in the future, you can go and check her out on social media. It's Susan SurfTone, SurfTone, on social media there, which is really easy. And I think your public page for the band is Susan and the SurfTones.
Yeah, go to Susan SurfTone.
Okay,
That's where
Susan
the-
SurfTone is the main one. Also, you can go check her out, like we said, on October 8th from
October 11th.
October 11th from 8 to 10 p.m. Sorry, October 11th. Scratch the first one. October 11th, 8 to 10 p.m. Over in North Hollywood, and you just see all the information on there. Free acoustic concert. It's free, people, free. Over 5 different people will be performing there, which is so exciting. And then what was, just remind me again the name of the website. It's SusanSurfTone.com?
SusanSurfTone.com.
Okay, I thought there was something else, but it's SusanSurfTone.com. All the information's on there for her, and it's like, I mean, there's a lot of it, and you can see some really great videos. You got your YouTube videos on there as well.
You can read all my political articles.
Some amazing political articles that will read Trump for filth. It's amazing. I was reading through some of them, and I really don't want to spoil it because you guys need to just go and read it. And so go on there, SusanSurfTone.com. That is hard. Say that 5 times fast.
Hard, yeah.
It's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Susan, for being with us today. We really appreciate it, and really just kind of giving us this history of music and really kind of your journey through it. So we're really excited to have this opportunity with you today.
All right, a lot of fun. Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone so much for tuning in this week. Thank you to GayLifeLA.com for producing this, as well as Kings Road Apartment Homes for the amazing space you see. Tune in next week where we'll have a lovely little series coming up that's talking about relationships and all the things that go wrong with them, which is a lot. So turn in for Fish Tank next week. We'll have the producer and editor with it, as well as one of the actresses in there as well. So make sure you tune in next week at 5. Thank you guys so much. Catch you later. Bye.